Hey everybody, and welcome back to, I think, video number 3 out of 4 I'm making after having played an early version of The Edge of Fate. If you haven't checked out my first 2 videos, I'll have links to them down in the pinned comment and video description for you to check out later whenever you want. Today's topic though, new weapon perks and weapon archetypes. If you're interested, I've put together an Excel spreadsheet that will be linked down in the pinned comment that has every new weapon that I saw, along with every new weapon perk I was able to confirm that they rolled with. And there's a bunch of other info down there too, you know, in case you'd rather browse through that at your own pace than wait to hear me yap about it all. Moving on, I don't think we need to chat about every single new weapon I saw. For example, this is the Shoreline Dissident Sniper Rifle, and it's certainly not bad by any means, but I wouldn't say it's tremendously interesting. We've seen Void Rapid-Fire Snipers before. I'd rather talk about some of the more rare stuff for y'all to keep an eye out for in July, and of course, I'll save my favorite weapon for last because, you know, YouTube. But you can just skip ahead if you want, who cares? Anyway, let's start with new weapon perks, of which I didn't see too many. I'm sure there's more to what I saw though. Remember, as I mentioned in other videos, the recording sessions were very go, go, go. First up, we have Built to Blast. Gain aim assist, stability, and flinch resist when you have Woven Mail, Frost Armor, or Void Overshield. I'm not gonna lie, the benefits seem like they would pay off way more in PvP than in PvE, but the activation criteria is definitely kind of strict. I'd say if you have a consistent way to activate Woven Mail, Frost Armor, or Overshields in PvP, maybe with something like the Titan Bastion aspect, this could be handy, we'll see. Next up is Transcendent Moment. Final blows grant bonus stats based on the weapon's damage type alignment. Light elements grant stability and handling, dark elements grant range and aim assist. While Transcendent, this weapon gets both bonuses. Again, kind of seems like a PvP perk. I would much rather have the dark benefits between those two options, but that is just me. Binary Orbit. Elemental final blows with this weapon increase damage for a short duration. Darkness final blows boost arc, solar, and void weapons. Light final blows boost stasis, strand, and kinetic weapons. Unfortunately, I don't know exactly how much damage we're talking here, didn't get to test, but any weapon perk that gives a damage buff is interesting to me. Impromptu Ammunition. Final blows increase ammo meter progress from all sources for a short time. Later, when we talk about weapons, you might notice a new weapon stat called Ammo Generation. Ammo progress earned for final blows with this weapon. Primary weapons generate the most progress, heavy and special weapons generate additional progress towards the ammo type that they do not use. Just take a look at the following footage that I recorded in-game. In the bottom left-hand corner of our HUD, you'll see 2 ammo meters, one for special and one for heavy. The short version is the game actually shows you your ammo generation progress now. You don't have to wonder about when the next ammo brick is coming. So if you want to up the rate at which you generate ammo for yourself, look for guns with a high ammo gen stat, or you can use the Abundant Ammo weapon mod, one of a few new weapon mods in the game. Back to Impromptu Ammunition though, definitely a big thumbs up from me, a new weapon perk to keep an eye out for on your favorite PvE weapons. Proximity Power. When targets are nearby, final blows grant bonus melee stat. Not bad at all, especially when you remember that the melee stat is now reworked. Not only does a higher melee stat mean better ability cooldown and melee energy, but if you manage to get the stat over 100, you straight up increase the damage done by your melee attacks. Therefore, you can use the Proximity Power perk to essentially have stronger melee damage output, unless your melee stat is already at 200, which I'm guessing would be very challenging without perfectly rolled armor. Burning Ambition. Dealing sustained damage scorches the target. Dealing damage to a scorched target inflicts Scorch. Kind of a different flavor version of Incandescent that I'm really excited to use. Incandescent, as we all know, spreads Scorch around to nearby enemies on a final blow, but Burning Ambition will let you apply it to a target directly. Overall, extremely cash weapon perk on paper, and would love to one day get a weapon where we have the ability to roll both Burning Ambition and Incandescent together for maximum Scorch. Blast Distributor. Dealing splash damage grants a bonus to the grenade stat. Kinda like Proximity Power. On paper, it sounds like it'll be a good perk. You'll both improve your grenade recharge rate, and if you get the stat over 100, you'll increase the damage done by your grenades, which I'm all here for. Finally, we have Reaper's Tithe. Multiple simultaneous final blows queue up a stacking damage buff. Timer starts on your next weapon fire. Final blows extend the timer. Kind of a weirdly written perk, but seems like the TLDR is a stacking damage buff for explosive weapons capable of getting multi-kills. The one new weapon I found this perk on was a grenade launcher, for the record. Alright, enough beating around the bush. New weapon talk. Other than exotic weapons, which I already went over in my first video, there are 3 new weapon archetypes that I would like to go over with you today. The first is relatively normal and expected, and the other 2 are kind kinda weird. First up, we have a new type of bow, the high impact longbow. High power draw with over penetrating arrows. Yeah, you know how the area denial frame grenade launcher archetype is basically a legendary version of an existing exotic, aka Witherhoard? High impact longbow essentially is the legendary archetype of the Wish Ender exotic bow. Your arrows will automatically over penetrate targets just like the Wish Ender. This archetype was found on the Mercury A kinetic bow coming in Edge of Fate. Side note, this bow is also capable of rolling kinetic tremors, making it the second bow in the game capable of rolling that perk, so keep an eye out for all you out there who don't raid and therefore do not have an accrued redemption bow. But also, this is a fun bow to pair together with a unique new armor set bonus called TechSec. If you didn't hear, armor sets are a new thing in Edge of Fate. TLDR, you equip a certain amount of armor pieces from a certain set and you get a bonus. Actually a good bonus, not like the seasonal stuff we had before. With 2 pieces of the TechSec armor, you deal significantly increased kinetic damage to combatant shields, overshields, vehicles, and constructs. And with 4 pieces of TechSec armor equipped, then defeating a powerful combatant or breaking a shield with kinetic damage releases a disorienting kinetic shockwave. Quick side note, the Excel doc I put together has a few armor set bonuses in there. Feel free to check those out at your leisure. Interesting new archetype number 2, the Spreadshot hand cannon fires a short range spread of pellets. Translation, hand cannon shotgun. Granted, it doesn't hit as hard as a special ammo shotgun, as the one hand cannon I found and used that had this trait was a primary ammo weapon. Still though, melee abuse build crafters now have a shiny new toy they can fiddle with, as the Phonutria Farah hand cannon, nailed it, I saw was able to roll with 1-2 punch, which is hella interesting for a gun that runs on primary ammo. I'm unsure how effective hand cannon shotties will be in PvP. I can't imagine they'd kill in one hit, because a one-hit kill primary ammo weapon sounds probably too crazy. I'd imagine it would take 2 or so shots up close to get the job done, but I guess we'll see. Something to keep an eye on for sure. And finally, the most interesting new weapon archetype, rocket-assisted frame. What's that, you say? We already got that frame for sidearms? Oh, I know. But now we have it on pulse rifles too. Yup, a pulse rifle that runs on special ammo and shoots a triple burst of mini rockets, kind of like a triple burst version of a rocket sidearm. We genuinely thought this was a glitch or a mistake when we started playing Edge of Fate, but no, it's all intended, and yeah, it feels as good as you would imagine. When July finally comes and we have more time to F around with the Mint retrograde pulse rifle, as well as any other rocket firing rifles soon to come out in the future, the real question will be, is this weapon's ammo economy going to be as good as the current rocket sidearm ammo economy? Part of the reason rocket frame sidearms are so freaking awesome in PvE is not only because they hit incredibly hard, but because their ammo economy is so easy to maintain. You can almost straight up use them like a primary ammo weapon. If rocket pulse rifles wind up being the same way, then Mint retrograde or any other rocket rifle will easily be high tier for PvE. I should also mention that the retrograde had some very interesting weapon perk options, including chain reaction, which, quick reminder, is not a perk currently able to be rolled on any rocket frame sidearm in the game. Anyway, double check the Excel spreadsheet down in the pinned comment for more info, and if you're not familiar with Excel, you can change from one page to another by clicking the little tab options down at the very bottom. One more Edge of Fate video on the way for right now, and again, feel free to check out the others linked below. Thank you very much for watching. Peace!